If one good thing comes from the abundance discourse, it is that more people left, right, and center are waking up to the inconvenient truth that labor unions have morphed into parasitic shakedown cartels. Crush them.
Elon Musk has broken up with Trump over this big bill that still gives too much money to poor people for his liking. And frustratingly, there are a lot of Democrats who are seeing this not as an opportunity to attack a disjointed coalition on the Republican side, not as an opportunity to strengthen forces in opposition to both of these people, but rather as an opportunity to see Elon Musk as a free agent and bring him over to our side. Representative Ro Khanna is one of these people. He represents Silicon Valley, one of the wealthiest congressional districts in the country. And Ro Khanna does a lot of good stuff, but this has always been a huge blind spot of his. And, being willing to give Elon Musk the benefit of the doubt for some reason. He has been telling reporters and tweeting about how Democrats should, quote, be in dialogue with Musk. Khanna said, "We should ultimately be trying to convince him that the Democratic Party has more of the values that he agrees with. A commitment to science funding, a commitment to clean technology, and a commitment to seeing international students like him." And, you got to ask the question, why do you believe that Elon Musk has a commitment to science funding? Why do you believe that Elon Musk has a commitment to seeing international students? Why do you believe that Elon Musk has a commitment to any of these things? He doesn't. He has a commitment to him and his power. And it's just so
doesn't track
stupid.
It doesn't track with the reality we've witnessed over the last few months. Right?
We're in the middle right now of an Elon Musk started dismantling of all the safety and health and worker protections within the federal government. And so obviously people have been trashing on Ro Khanna, saying this is really dumb. Correctly, it is dumb. And Ro has said, if Biden had a big supporter criticize him, Trump would have hugged him the next day. When we refused to meet with Robert Kennedy Jr., Trump embraced him and won. We can be the party of sanctimonious lectures or the party of FDR that knows how to win and build a progressive majority. And that's just so very silly, because the way that you're not going to win a progressive majority with somebody, especially now like Elon Musk, who most of the country has been negatively polarized against. Most people do not like Elon Musk. And that is one of the big reasons that Trump is okay with this happening, is because Elon Musk was one of the least popular parts of the Trump administration. And we want to bring him on to the Democrats. It's just so ridiculous. But Ro Khanna isn't the only person doing this. Matthew Iglesias, one of the abundance bros, has been talking about this. He says, "I feel like Jeffries and Schumer should give Elon Musk a call and tell him about the Democratic Party's long-standing interest in electric cars, solar panels, space exploration, and balanced deficit reduction. I don't know that it played a major causal role in anything, but holding an EV summit at the White House and not inviting Tesla was genuinely one of the most brain-dead political ideas of all time." And no, it's not. Somebody pointed out, again, like I just said on Twitter, he said, this Twitter commenter said, "Elon Musk is one of the least popular figures in American politics, 40% favorable, 53% unfavorable, holding some of the least popular opinions in American politics. The belief that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, for instance." And Matthew Iglesias said, "He's got a lot of money, though." And, there you go. Being willing to sell yourself to the highest bidder, though, is not a popular thing. And Elon Musk's money specifically, there is a huge question about how valuable that is actually going to be, because we saw what happened in Wisconsin, where Elon Musk spent millions and millions of dollars and still lost by huge margins. right? And so if the money, when it's Elon Musk's money, it comes attached to him, both politically, publicly, and also, pragmatically. Like, he is going to, just like we're seeing with the Trump breakup, he is going to want something for that money. And, I think this is all being driven by these types of people being antagonistic towards unions. We see from this Welcome Fest thing, it was a big abundance sort of get together. There was a panel where this podcaster, Josh Barro, talked about how what's coming up now in the abundance movement is that is a coming confrontation with unions. Let's listen to Barro at this centrist convention.
A lot of abundance fans here today. When I look at policies in New York that stand in the way of abundance, very often if you look under the hood, you eventually find a labor union at the end that is the driver of that.
Hey, 5 seconds, just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate.
Another abundance bro, and Josh Barro, he's just a reporter and a podcaster, but this guy, AJ Manasier, is a private equity investment guy who is big on the abundance train. And he tweeted, "If one good thing comes from the abundance discourse, it is that more people left, right, and center are waking up to the inconvenient truth that labor unions are the single greatest obstacle to America's economic growth and prosperity. They have morphed into little more than parasitic shakedown cartels. Crush them." And so it's just, that's why these people feel like they can make common cause with somebody like Elon Musk, who his tenure in government was really defined by busting unions, by firing union workers in the federal government. And, this abundance conference it was sponsored by people like Reid Hoffman, LinkedIn co-founder, the Walton family, the people famously Walmart anti-union. The Walton family is one of these people, some of the folks funding the abundance stuff. Michael Bloomberg, the Murdochs, it's just so crazy.
Well, and the thing about this that really kills me is, like, this has basically been the Democratic Party's approach and strategy
it's not working
for decades, right? Like, we had Bill Clinton and the DLC and, the Third Way and all that kind of garbage in the 90s. It really started before then, as we've talked about on this show before. It dates back to Jimmy Carter and that era of the Democrats starting to embrace neoliberalism and embrace wealthy donors in exchange for work, as they, continued to lose working class votes. They catered to the rich more and more and more. And they have done that over the last few decades. And so this idea of like, oh, well, here's how we can win. We'll just have our own billionaires. Like, that's not a new idea. Mm-hmm. That's the shit you've been doing for years, for a long time. Bloomberg being a great example of that. And so there's nothing new here. There's nothing, there's no like breakthrough analysis. Like, it's just the same warmed over centrist neoliberal bullshit that we've been getting for decades. But I think they're telling a lot by exposing how they have a hatred of unions. And again, unions are just a tool for working class people to have power over our lives. Some unions are better than others. Some unions are more democratic. Some are more progressive. Some are, more top down versus bottom up, blah, blah, blah. They're human institutions. They vary in a lot of ways, but bottom line, they are a tool that working people have to actually have a voice at work, where we create the value of this country and where we spend most of our lives. And that's not a lot to ask, to have a voice, to have a structure in place that we as working people can actually have a little bit of a say-so over our lives. And to think that that is the obstacle to progress, you know, what does the progress look like to you that unions are standing in the way of? Because I don't see how safety on the job, democratic input of the workers, better wages, guaranteed retirement, guaranteed paid time off, family life, you know, a balance with your work life and your family life, having the opportunity to go to the doctor when you need to, having the assurance that if something goes wrong at work, you can report that. You can speak up. You don't have to do something unsafe, right? You can say something about that. If you're discriminated against, if you're sexually harassed, you can actually have people to have your back, and you don't have to just sit there and take it. That's what a union's about. And I think that that's standing in the way of progress. Well, what the hell kind of progress do you envision? That somehow workers, organized workers, are like standing in the way of that. I don't know. You know, for me, progress would be better quality of life for working class people.
Yeah.
That's progress, because we, as we've been talking about, like, we are behind. We are behind most of the rest of the world in terms of healthcare, retirement, paid time off, education, infrastructure, you name it. And Alabama and much of the South ranks at the bottom of the United States, right? So working class people here in Alabama are worse off than workers in a lot of places in this world. And to think that we're somehow the problem is total garbage.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.